And we're currently building the Otjikoto mine in Namibia. When that starts up in 2015, we'll be up to 550,000 ounces. We are looking at the potential to expand Masbate, and we're assuming if that does happen, it'll probably be online by 2017. And then by 2018, we could go up to 750,000 ounces with the development of the Gramalote project. Our share capital, we have 650 million shares outstanding. About 5.6% of the outstanding share capital is owned by management and directors. And because of that, we've taken an unusual position that the management team actually, that are the founders of the company, do not take any stock options. And I doubt you'll find another company that's listed in New York or even Vancouver where the chairman, the CEO, and CFO can say that they don't have any stock options. And we have a good position in the stock price or in shares, so we don't really need to be any more motivated than we already are. And we like to reserve those stock options for adding quality people to our management team, which we think is the best way to build a gold company. This market capitalization says 1.9 million. It hasn't been a good week in the markets for gold. We're probably down around 1.6 billion right now. Whoa, how did that happen? I did that on purpose. If you look at our project map, you can see that our projects are basically all over the world. And a lot of people and investors have asked us, well, how can you manage, all your operations when you're located so far from one another? And the reason we do such a good job at managing them is because of the quality of the people that we have on site. When we acquired CTA, we were looking at the people they had at Masbate, and as well as the people that they had here in Makati. And we were very impressed with the local Filipinos, people like Chris Acosta and Joy, and a lot of the others that are here. I can't name you all, but I think that's one thing that really struck me when we were doing our due diligence. I was really impressed with the quality of professionals here, and it really gave us a lot of confidence in knowing that with some additional guidance out of Vancouver, it would be a good operation and we could improve things here. The reason we think we can improve things at our operations is because we do have a very strong management team, and we can supplement the people on site with some of our people working out of Vancouver. Sorry, I'm kind of dry. I was talking for about an hour before this presentation, which I didn't expect. I met a lot of great people, but I'll just give some 2013 guidance now. As you can see from this slide, we're projecting to produce about 380,000 ounces this year at cash costs just below $700 an ounce. Another question that we get a lot now, and that the industry has been talking more about, is all-in sustaining costs. And our all-in sustaining costs are just under $1,100 an ounce, which is quite competitive compared to the rest of the industry. Masbate should produce somewhere around 180,000 ounces this year, with cash costs between $770 and $790 an ounce, which is actually quite a bit better than our original forecast. Our original budget for Masbate this year was around the same ounce number, but we're expecting cash costs to be up around the $850 per ounce region. But there's some things that the on-site management have done to improve some of the cost controls and the efficiencies at the operation, which has really allowed them to improve the cash costs at that operation. Cash flow this year on a consolidated basis should be around $120 million. That was based on a $1,400 per ounce gold price. Today, I guess early this morning, we saw gold dip below $1,300. So we may come in a little lower than that, but we are in a strong financial position and are very happy with where we sit right now in the industry. 2014 guidance will again see us increase production. We believe Masbate's production should get up to around 200,000 ounces next year. And again, their cash cost should be sustained around the $800 level, which compared to a lot of other mines in the industry is quite competitive. Our Nicaragua operations are higher grade than Masbate, and so they're able to maintain lower cash costs. And again, both projects there will see their production numbers increase in 2014, and their cash costs more or less hold steady, which in this day and age is quite an accomplishment. The 2014 should also see us start up our Otjikoto project, which is in construction, and we're expecting the first gold pour from that project in the fourth quarter of 2014. This is a chart that we're quite proud of, actually, and if you look at the far left, in 2010, when B2 was really just got its first operating mine and La Libertad was just starting production, our average cash cost was quite a bit higher than the industry standard. Our cash costs were just under $600 an ounce, which was about $150 an ounce higher than the industry average. But then our engineers went to work to see how they could improve things, and in 2011 our cash costs actually dropped from the previous year, while the rest of the industry saw quite a large increase in their cash costs. And so our cash costs actually, from 2011 onwards, have been below the industry standard. And I think that's one of the things that separates our company, is the ability to find higher grade ounces around our current operating mines, as well as finding ways to improve the efficiencies of those operations. I'll talk a bit more about that now. As you can see, our cash cost guidance for 2013 has gone up compared to our previous years, and that is with the Masbate acquisition. It is a higher cash cost operation as it is a lower grade, but we'll certainly be working on that to see how we can improve that over the next few years. Just a bit about mining in Nicaragua. I'm sure very few of you know anything about the country. I have to admit, I didn't know anything about Nicaragua until we started looking at the projects there in late 2008, early 2009. And it's a small country. It's in Central America. It has just over 6 million people. One thing that a lot of people don't realize, it's been a democracy since 1990. And it's been a very fair tax regime. They have a 3% NSR, and their taxes on profits are about 30%, which is very competitive with other countries that we've been involved in. And we found Nicaragua to be a very safe country to operate in. That's certainly one of the things that's important to our management group, to make sure that the countries we are in are safe for our workers. It has a long mining history, very similar to the Philippines. Lots of small miners that we found that we actually helped. One thing we've done there that's helped not only the small miners, but it's also helped the environment, is that we've got tolling agreements with some of the cooperatives, where we basically, they deliver their ore to our operation, and we stockpile it, and then we'll campaign it through our mill, and give them a big portion of, we'll charge them for our milling costs, obviously, but we'll pay them much more than what they were getting when they were going to some of the smaller mills. And so that's gained us a lot of goodwill there with the small miners. And it's also decreased the pollution, because there was a lot of mercury being used to recover the gold, and we don't do that in our process. Our tailings facilities are contained, and so we're much more environmentally friendly than a lot of these smaller operations were. We also contribute a lot to social programs in Nicaragua, and I'll be discussing that a bit more later. Total employees in the country, we have well over 2,000 people, and gold is actually one of the top 3 exports in the country, and B2, its mines produce by far the most gold in the country. And so we're a very important taxpayer in the country as well. I know when I go see they call the revenue department there the DGI, they're actually always very happy to see us, because they find that we're very honest with our tax returns, and we do provide a lot of tax revenues for the country. For Libertad, as you can see here, that's on the right-hand side. That's actually the mill building there. There's 1 SAG mill, 2 ball mills. Each year, that operation, since we started it up in 2010, has increased its production. A lot of that has been from not only the increased grades that we've been finding, but due to increased throughput and due to increased recoveries, which has made a big difference. The original feasibility study was expecting recoveries to be around 87%. Now we're seeing recoveries north of 92%, which makes a big difference to your annual production numbers.